At the March 30th, 2020 board meeting, the West Geauga Board of Education approved a resolution to suspend portions of certain bylaws which were not consistent with board meetings by telephone conference or video conference. A second resolution was passed on December 14th, 2020, extending the board's ability to meet via electronic means until July 1st, 2021. This resolution ensures compliance with amended substitute House Bill 197 as extended by the passage of HB 404. At this time, the Board of Education will continue its meetings by telephone conference, video conference, or other similar technologies. This meeting is a meeting of the West Geauga Local School District Board of Education in public for the purpose of conducting the West Geauga Local School District's business and is not to be considered a public community meeting. There is a time for public participation during the meeting as indicated in the agenda. Please use the chat room function located at the bottom of the webpage if you would like to be recognized for public participation. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ramey.
Here.
Dr. Beers.
Here.
Mr. Kotowski.
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Here.
Okay, let's rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States
of America,
and to the
and to
republic
the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Give me just a second to reduce the window size here. Are there any additions or changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Can I get a motion to approve then, please?
So moved. Second.
Roll call?
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Mr. Kotowski.
Yes.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Okay, there are no program reports. And Mr. Kish, do we have anyone signed up for public participation?
I have no one in the chat room.
Okay. Routine items.
Resolution 193 to approve routine matters of the West Geauga Local Board of Education to include the minutes from the May 24th meeting.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Kotowski.
Yes.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Resolution 194 to approve a fund-to-fund transfer from the general fund to our 009 school fees.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Mr. Kotowski.
Yes.
Resolution 195 to approve an increase in the fiscal year 2021 appropriations for food services.
So moved. Second.
Questions?
So this helps balance the food services out so they aren't negative for the year or something like that?
This is a non-cash. What happened is we had lowered the appropriation when we went into FY21, and due to us participating in the Summer Opportunities Program, we have spent more on our food purchases that we didn't think we were going to. So this is increasing the appropriation up to, I believe it'll be up to $415,000 in food services.
Other questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Mr. Kotowski.
Yes.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution 196 is to accept administrative staff resignations.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Mr. Kotowski.
Yes.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
I'd like to thank both Sean and Ben for their service to West Geauga schools and for all they've done for our school district and for the students who are here. So thank you. Resolution 197 is to approve certified staff appointment for the 2021-2022 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
Okay, before the board votes, Amy, would you like to introduce us to Rose? I know she's here. I see her moving around.
Rose has been kind enough to join us from her boys' baseball game this evening, I believe. So thank you so much for popping in, Rose. Rose is a school psychologist who comes to us with a wealth of experience, both in school administration and as a school psychologist. She's worked in the Canton School District, the Elyria School District, and also through the county. She also has preschool experience, which is particularly meaningful to us because she will be located at Westwood, and she will be serving our preschool through second graders. She will also be working with our school-based team over there to take back a little bit of ownership of our preschool students. We're going to have our own staff doing some of the evaluation and serving in the hopes of eventually planning to transition a class or two back into our school district. So Rose, thank you so much for joining us. We are delighted to have you on board.
Hi, thank you. Hi, everyone. Of course, it started raining. Just sit and get comfortable. Starting to get rained on. So I tried to hide from the rain.
Well, go Rose. We appreciate your time and go back to being a mom.
Okay, thank
Hey,
you.
good luck.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Good game. Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Resolution 198 is to accept classified staff resignations.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Resolution 199 is to approve a classified staff appointment for the 2021-2022 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Resolution 200 is to approve certified stipends for work outside of the 2020-2021 contractual year.
So moved. Second.
Questions?
So, what is AP boot camp? Is that to, I'll say, train the teacher how to teach AP?
No, actually, it's to get the kids into AP classes a little bit early to give them a head start on the school year. So,
Oh, okay.
Rich, does that mean a head start on the school year in terms of the classes that they're going to be taking?
yes, it means bringing the kids in a little bit early, actually, to give them a little bit of a head start. It's something that's done elsewhere that we're sort of emulating here because it gives the kids sort of a running start into AP calculus.
Wow, that's really useful for. a lot.
Yeah, you need all the help you can get in AP calculus.
Okay.
Right. Okay, we're on to the next one.
Call.
Now we have,
Roll call.
Roll call.
Dr. Beers,
Yeah, definitely.
Mr. Katsowski,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Resolution 201 is to approve 2021 Summer Opportunities Stipends, one of my favorites.
So moved.
second,
Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Katsowski,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Resolution 202 is to approve summer routes for extended school year services.
So move.
second,
Questions? Roll call.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
yes,
Resolution 203 is to approve supplemental contracts for the 2020-2021 school year. And those are listed.
So move.
second,
Questions? Roll call.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
yes,
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Resolution 204 is to approve service contracts for the 2021-2022 school year.
So moved. Second.
Questions? Roll call?
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Resolution 205 is to authorize the award of service contracts for the 2021-2022 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Before the board votes, Jay, would you like to tell us a little bit about our new head basketball coach?
Just gonna ask.
I sure will. Good evening, everybody. We're presenting for your approval tonight Mr. Jim Fisher as our new boys head basketball coach. If approved, Jim joins us after serving over 30 years as a basketball coach, leading back to his days as assistant varsity coach in Erie, where he's from. Most recently, he served as a coach with the AAU and TNBA basketball programs before serving as West Geauga High School's freshman basketball coach last season. Jim graduated from Mercyhurst College with a business degree before serving as a before a long career as a public servant with the Internal Revenue Service. Due to a death in Jim's family today, he's unable to join us. However, he wanted Dr. Markwart and the board to know of his extreme appreciation for the opportunity, if approved, and committed to providing our players with this great experience. And I also anecdotally, I want to say that last year Jim came on as actually as a volunteer coach for us, and with COVID, and we had a lot of kids in and out of the program due to COVID who had to sit in quarantine. And I will say that Jim continued to lead our program, not just at the freshman level, but at the JV and varsity levels too. He held the program together in addition with the other coaches. So we're extremely fortunate to have Jim, number one, to be interested in the position, number two, accept the position if offered to him. So thank you.
Thank you, Jay.
Anything else? Sounds like a good choice. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Resolution 206 is to approve student internships for the 2021-2022 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Resolution 207 is to approve the certification of the 2021 West Geauga High School graduates.
So moved.
Second.
Now, do we have to go
Discussion?
over these name by name?
No.
Oh, thank goodness.
There may be ones we don't approve, Rich. There might be one on that list we don't approve.
That's why it's best we take it as a class.
It is a group.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Resolution 208 is to approve the third and final reading of new board policy 6424 and the revised board policies contained in your agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson, Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Yes.
Did I get Mr. Thorson?
You
Oh,
did.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Thank you. Resolution 209 to approve the agreement for deposit of public funds with Huntington Bank. This is a 3-year agreement.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Roll call, please. Oh, you have a question, Ben?
Just real quick, is there any way to pull out of it if interest rates drastically rise or there's some unforeseen event?
These are our funds for our payroll and our warrants. So there's nothing interest.
Oh, excellent.
We move money in and then spend it. So this is, we use the STAR facility for most of our interim deposits.
Okay.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Resolution 210 to approve a contract between West Geauga Board of Education and the West Geauga Educational Association, terms from the July 2021 through June 30th, 2024.
So move.
Second.
Discussion. Roll call, please.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey.
Yes.
Resolution 211 to approve the Kids Link School District contract with the West Geauga Local School District from 2021 to 2022 school year.
So moved.
Second. This is a specific need that Amy has identified, I gather from the description. Is that correct?
Yes. Mhm.
Yes, KidsLink specializes for students who are on the spectrum or autistic, and they do a really nice job with some very deep intervention therapeutic wise that we don't specialize. We can't meet those needs here.
Yeah,
It's a very specific need.
And Amy, this is a full year program, not just a school year program.
Mhm. And I think most notably, they've been in person since last summer, which has been outstanding for our students. Their reputation came before that, but they've been wonderful with consistency.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Beers,
yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson.
Yes.
Resolution 212 to approve a service agreement between Will Speaks LLC and the West Geauga Local Schools.
So moved.
Second.
Questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Resolution 213 to approve vendor agreement between the Wren Hill Group, Inc. and the West Geauga Local Schools.
So
So
moved.
moved. Second.
Who was first? I'm sorry.
Ben was.
Okay,
I second.
thank you.
Like your office, Ben.
I'm sorry about that. I just got home.
So is this again a specific need that we are filling this way rather than some other way?
Yes, we've tried to fill this position through the county and through our own resources. We need a paraprofessional to assist a student in an activity over the summer. So we use Run Hill sometimes for those needs when we can't fill it internally.
Why are we unable to fill that kind of position?
Our staff may not always want to work over the summer. So this is a need in the month of July. So
What's the advantage of not adding staff? I mean, we're adding a person and.
this is to help a student go to camp, to a camp that we're
So it's only gonna
recommending.
be for summer?
It's just for a couple weeks in July for an extended school year experience for a student with special needs.
Oh, I see. So it'd make no sense to hire someone.
Absolutely not. No.
Okay. I
But we
understand.
always offer it. We always offer it to our own staff first. We post it, but
Right. But
we have not.
nobody stepped forward.
no,
Okay.
No.
Thanks, Amy.
no vacation. So, right.
Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski.
Yes.
Resolution 214 to approve the purchase of 2 buses in the 2021-2022 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Questions?
Yeah, where's this coming out of, Karen?
We're going to take one out of the ESSER funds as a continuation of services, since we were unfortunately totaled 2 buses this year, and then the other one will come out of the PI fund. So split it in half.
Other questions?
When you say total 2 buses, when you say total 2 buses,
We had
From-
2 bus wrecks, and they were older buses, so it totaled them. The repairs
Gotcha.
exceeded.
so it's not an insurance thing?
Well, we received money from the insurance company to total the buses. So it wasn't worth fixing them.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Other questions? Roll call, please.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Dr.
Right,
Markwart.
you're up, Rich.
Okay, our summer school is underway and we're seeing a lot of kids in the buildings, particularly at the middle school right now. We are actually beginning planning for next school year, and you can see that in terms of some of the staff being hired, et cetera. And then also with more immediacy, we're working on our America Rescue Plan, which sounds like we're, going off to join the Allies in World War II, but really it's a revision and a reissuance of the restart plan we had last year with some modifications to it. So we're working with that now at the directives of the feds. So you'll be hearing more about that soon. That's it.
Okay. Any board reports before I say something about Newbury? I sent the letter that we discussed in the last board meeting to the Newbury trustees. I have not received a response to this point.
Yeah, how does the date they got the letter coincide with their meetings? Do you have any idea?
It was before their most recent meeting.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, it was supposed to be delivered the Friday I went on vacation. So
Okay.
I'm not sure. I don't keep up with I did not check on the Newbury trustee meeting schedule while I was out.
Sure. Okay.
Chet, there was a letter delivered to the board office today from one of the township trustees with your name on it. I will get that to you when I see you sometime in the next few days or so.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know the contents. It was sealed and your name was on it. We didn't open it.
Okay. Yeah, I got in about a half hour before Dan did. All right. Anything else? Then the board will adjourn to executive session. Well, or I will request a resolution for the board or a motion for the board to adjourn to executive session for personnel matters, appointments and/or employment and compensation, and for negotiations. After the board returns from executive session, there will be no further action taken at this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Dr. Beers,
Yes.
Mr. Katsowski,
Yes.
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson. Thank you.
All right, so our next meeting is the 28th.
Will that be an in-person meeting?
No, but
Okay.
the next
still
one
good.
after that will. The
Okay.
first one in July will be.
Mr. President, I motion to adjourn.
I appreciate your motion.
I second it.
All right, can we just do a voice vote on this one? Or
Has to be a roll call. Mr. Katsowski.
You're muted.
Oh, I know. Oh, he is.
I was muted because Jim Kish has good sense, evidently. Yes.
just
Yes.
caution?
Mr. Ramey,
Yes.
Mr. Thorson,
Yes.
Dr. Beers.
Yes.
Thank you so much.